Alright, so this is going to be a tutorial on the Silent Hill Out of Bounds, also known as Antique Shop Skip. This trick is pretty notorious for being the one hard thing in the game, or the one trick in the game that messes up with everybody. People have even rage quit speedrunning Silent Hill because of this. It's a pretty inconsistent trick. And the problem about it is that it's 30 minutes into the run, so it's pretty annoying. I'm going to show how to do this trick pretty consistently. So if you watch this video from start to finish, you'll be able to do this trick pretty consistently if you follow those steps. So we're gonna go to the basics and advanced about this trick. This is essentially a damage boost, and then after the damage boost, we're gonna go through this door right here. And this essentially skips a big part of the game. It is the biggest skip in the game. It's one of the two major glitches that we use in the run. And this skip's pretty much required if you're going for good times. Of course, it's required if you're going for a record, and it's pretty annoying because if you're going for really good times, you want to do it first. You want to get it first try, and I see a lot of new people, new runners, having a lot of trouble with this. So I'm going to share my knowledge on it. First off, let's go over what it skips. So what you would normally do. This is what we would do in the old route. We would play the game normally. This is everything that I'm gonna be showing here. It is skipped by the out of bounds. So all of these sections, and this was essentially when the trick was discovered, like what 2 years ago. Um, this was what we would do before that. So you would go down here, and you would fight a boss. All of that. Oh, I messed up the fight. Nice. Okay. And then you would even pick up the rifle like this. So the old routes of this game would involve using the rifle, because you're shooting the boss, you're fighting this boss. So all of this is skipped, and then you would have to go all the way to the hospital. I'm gonna do it just to show. I'm gonna have like thumbnails in the video, like timing in the video to, not thumbnails, but timestamps. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna have timestamps in the video. If you wanna skip to the part that interests you. But if you were completely new to this is what it skips. And this is what we would do. Essentially running from the Silent Hill town center to all the way to Alchemilla Hospital. So it's a big chunk. I'm trying to show you without aggroing the enemies. So all the way up here. Now if you do the out of bounds trick, you're gonna go from the antique shop to this place, or rather you're gonna clip through the wall and you're gonna be here in this roof. So you're gonna be here, okay? So this is what it skips. So let's go through how does this work. I'm going to do a more general explanation. Oh, okay. That's a checkpoint. It's fine though. So what that trick does is that if you damage boost from the romper in a specific timing, when you get jumped by the Romper while going through that transition. So you're taking damage while going through this transition right here. See this one, the antique shop transition. This will eliminate your collisions with walls. So of course you cannot normally do that, but when you do this damage boost, like that, then you can walk through walls. That's the, let me see if I can. There you go. That's the hallway that we were. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And if you fall, so not only my collision um, is messed up and I can walk through walls, but this puts me in a weird spot. Like I don't know why it does that, but it puts me here on this place. So I can, if you fall like that, your collision is reset, so everything's fixed. Okay. So you're going to abuse that to walk through this door. So we're gonna run through this door, and that's gonna put me. Okay, I messed up. No, I cannot do that. That's going to put me on that roof. Really? Alright. So I'm going to go through this door right here. Now, all I am doing is pushing forward. That's what I'm doing. So once you're out of bounds, just push forward. And then after a while, you're gonna be here. In this roof here. And the only reason why this is possible is because when you get to this roof, this part of the game is still active. This area is still active. It's properly loaded, at least to some extent. Because at least you can go down the stairs. And then you're gonna end here. And then you can play the rest of the game normally. So that's the only reason why it really works, because there are, like, you could go to other places, let's say to the hospital gates, but the area wouldn't be properly loaded. Even though you could go there, the doors will not work and the transitions will not work, and there are no enemies and stuff. So that's the one place that we have so far found that you can walk through walls and then land, and then you're still like you can still progress through the game. Okay. Now, one thing that I want to talk about is PSTV difference. So, if you're playing on a PSTV, you will not be able to do this. You will not be able to go through this door. Instead, you need to go around it. So I'm going to demonstrate what you would do on a PSTV. So instead of going through this door, you would kind of go around it. I'm not sure if that was like accurate, but you would kind of go around it. So if you're in PSTV, Harry can still walk through walls after doing the damage boost, but he cannot walk through this door for some reason. It's probably an emulation thing. So that's only on PSTV though. If you're running on any other platform, that's allowed for speedruns. So like unofficial emulators, PS1, 2, and 3, you should be able to go through this door. But I think there's something about the PSTV um, that you cannot do that. So instead, you have to go around the door, and then I'm not sure about this. Okay, and then you have to go around the door, and then you wanna readjust your position. So you want to go around and then a little bit to the left and right. So I'm gonna readjust your position to still be in a straight line. You see, you're still gonna want to go and be on a straight line comparing to the doorway, or else you're not gonna land on the roof, because normally you will simply go forward after you're done with the damage boost. That's all there is to it. Once you are out of bounds, all you have to do all you have to do is go forward. Okay. All right. So uh, before I get into the trick, let me show you what not to do. Okay. So I see a lot of people that get into the game um, do a few things that it's not the proper strat. So I'll try to demonstrate. So you would go here and aggro the romper and like try to wait around like this, and you see that I failed. The reason why people will, the possible reason is because when we were starting to figure out this trick and how to do it, this would be the strat. Like you would try to aggro the romper, and like all we knew is that like all we knew was the position, and you would want to be around this position, but you don't want to do that because look how much time I'm losing, and then it's still not guaranteed to get. It's very inconsistent, and you're losing a lot of time. And if you fail and want to go back and try again, like let's say we do this. Oh, that can also happen. Which is bad. Let's say you want to do this. You can get grabbed by the romper, so a lot of bad things can happen. But let's say you continue. Oh, okay, you're not cooperating, are you? Well, you see, it's quite messy, right? I've seen this happen to a lot of runners that are getting into the game. And especially if you're going for try and get a good time like a 33, 32, 31, you really don't want to be wasting all those seconds waiting for the romper to jump at you when you spend the last 30 minutes of the run optimizing your movement, you know, to certain degrees. So that's one thing that you don't want to do. The second thing is let's say you aggro the romper, right? And then let's say you're just waiting for it or whatever, and the romper actually jumps at you. One mistake that some people would do while doing this, it's related to the first mistake, is to let go of the controller and just wait for the romper. If the when the romper is jumping at you, let me demonstrate properly. When the romper is jumping at you, you need to push forwards. I was not pushing forward there, and I failed the trick. If you don't push forward, your position has to be extremely specific, okay? I'm not sure if this would be frame perfect, but it's very specific. It's a very weird, specific way. So make sure you keep holding forward at all times. As soon as the romper jumps at you, as soon as like the romper starts his animation, push forward. That's all you need to do that. That's the most important thing on the trick. Okay? This is very 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 important. You have to do that. So when you do that, do not let go forward. Oh, okay. I just failed. Well, most of the times, what would happen if you let go forward is that. But this trick is not consistent or that. This trick is not consistent even if you're good at it. Not gonna lie, I'm getting a little unlucky, but yeah, there you go. So you want to push forward when the Romper starts jumping at you, right? When he commits to the jump, or well, with the setup that I'm gonna teach you, you're never gonna let go of forward anyway. But yeah, that's something that you should note. Okay, always be pushing forward, and don't let go of forward until you're done with the transition. Okay. Another very important thing. Uh, this is something that a lot of people don't know. When you're going through this door, make sure you're using the analog instead of the D-pad. Except if you're using, of course, PSTV, which then you would go around the door. But make sure you use the analog. I'll try to demonstrate. This is a small optimization, but it's pretty important. So if you use the D-pad, look at Harry. He walks for like 2 or 3 steps. And that's not what we want. If you use the analog, he's gonna walk a little bit, but not for that long. Look at that, it was like half a step. So it's a small difference, especially for the untrained eye. So D-pad. Oh boy. Okay, let me try again. So D-pad, and then there's analog. I do believe Aaron has okay, I'm gonna do an analog now. So okay, that was quite slow, but still faster than D-pad. It has some weird variance to it. I don't know why. But I believe Aaron has like a side-by-side comparison video, which maybe I could link. I don't know, but yeah, that's another important thing to know. Okay. Oh yeah, and the reason why this happens, just to explain, there are some specific doors in the game that if you run towards them with the D-pad or with the analog and vice versa, some of them, Harry will walk if you're using the D-pad. Some of them, Harry will walk if you use the analog. So there's one. This room is an example. This door is an example. If you want to go into this door with the analog, even if you're not doing like the out of bounds, even before, like when going to this door for the first time, you want to use the analog as well, because you're going in a straight line, so you're not gonna have problems with turning anyway. There's another door in nowhere that it's recommended that you would use the analog, because once again you're going into the straight line. The first door in the school right before the entrance, you're gonna use the analog. So a few doors where using the analog is better, and there are a few doors as well where using the analog is worse. So you want to use the D-pad, even if you're an analog runner, which I would doubt so. But yeah, an example of that would be the nowhere doors to get the Amulet of Solomon, also known as like the 2 rooms where you would find Lisa for the last time. Those rooms you don't want to use the analog. Using the D-pad is actually faster. Harry walks for last steps, basically almost nothing. But yeah, this has to do with the difference between the running animation, or at least this is what I think it is. But yeah, it probably has to do something with the difference of running animation between analog and D-pad. Harry runs differently, but it's just the animation. The movement speed is the same. Okay, so I've explained a few things on what you don't want to do, and now I'm going to break down this trick on the things that you want to do, on how you do the trick, how to get this consistently. Even though I failed a few times, but yeah, this trick is gonna get your consistency. Like doing this proper movement will get your consistency to at least 50%. So it's acceptable, okay? You can get better than that, but then I cannot promise you that. That's gonna be all on you. So we're gonna do a very, very specific set of inputs, or rather, a very, very specific movement to get the romper to jump at me at the right moment. Like that. I'm going to demonstrate a few times on how it is, so pay attention to it. Still got it. Actually, I'm going to increase the volume of the capture card here. So it's gonna be pretty loud. Okay, maybe it's too loud. Whatever. It needs to be loud. Oh, okay. Nice. That can happen, by the way. That's a pattern that if it happens, there's nothing you can do. Sometimes you would just not aggro him. It's just unlucky. It happens like 5 to 10% of the times. Or sometimes he will lose interest. That can also happen, but it's usually because you messed up your movement in a very minuscule, obscure way. I messed up my movement. This is an interesting pattern as well, where he kind of saves you, lunges at you from further. Kind of like that. So you see what I'm doing, right? It's the same thing every time. But not really. I'm gonna get to that. But it's the same movement, okay? So, the movement that you're going to do, I'm going to break down. It's simple, okay? So first, I'm going to kill this romper. Or not. Okay. So, you're gonna start, of course, you're gonna start at the door. But you're gonna be here, so you're gonna go through the transition. Oh yeah, one more thing that I forgot to mention, but it's very important that whenever you go through the transition, you immediately run. Do not wait here. If you wait here, you're less likely to aggro the romper, okay? This is very important, okay? So you're gonna go here. This is the first part of the movement. This is the first part of the trick. This is a very specific and very important movement. And you want to be here all the time, every time. You want to do this every time. This is the movement that you want to do. Okay, that was a little weird, but it could work. Okay? You're gonna be kind of around here. You don't have to be exactly here, but yeah. This is where you want to do. You can use that little crack on the ground. You see there's a little hole here where, hold on, here. Gosh. Harry's right foot is in, so this hole here. You see? So use it as a reference, but I'm going to show how to get there, okay? So here is pretty good too. It doesn't matter that much. It's pretty important that you do this though. You're gonna come out, and they're gonna go. You're gonna do 2 steps. So you need to listen to Harry, okay? This is very important. I cannot do this trick without audio. There are some more advanced audio cues, but I'm gonna get to that. This is very important though. You need to listen to Harry's footsteps. So you're gonna listen to 2 footsteps. Listen to it. Okay? So 2 footsteps, and when you listen to the second footstep, I'm going to increase the volume even further now. When you listen to the second footstep, you're going to stop. Okay? So when you listen to the second footstep, you're going to turn a little bit to the left, and you're going to stop shortly after. So it goes 1 2. So running 1 2. Okay, keep in mind that this is done using the D-pad, not the analog. It's different from it's different with the analog. So if you are an analog runner, this is probably going to be different. Okay, but use the D-pad here. You're gonna be around here-ish. You're gonna be around here-ish. It is important to turn to the left, okay? So you could do this and go forward, but it's not as good. It's not as consistent, okay? Do as I say. 1 2. And then you turn a little bit to the left, okay? 1 2. Like that. This could work. Like there are some variants to it, right? But the idea is that you're generally around this position here, okay? If you are too further though, you're going to mess up, you're going to fail. And if you are too short, you might fail as well. So your window is not really that good. But you know, as the more you practice this movement, the better you're going to become at getting it consistently, okay? But this is the first part, okay? Really breaking it down. So one more time. This is a long video. 1 2, and then go, and then a little bit to the left, right? 2 steps. The second step a little bit to the left. One more time, just to be longer video, yeah. All right, this could work as well, but you would rather be here-ish. Once again. Okay, and then you're going to quick turn, and make sure, by the way, if you are running on reverse walk run, of course, make sure to hold walk while quick turning, because it makes it better, it makes it more consistent, makes it so you have a bigger window to do the quick turn input. If you were a reverse walk run runner, okay. I am not a reverse walk run runner, so when I say you know, let go of run, if you are a reverse walk run runner, just push walk, okay? But I am not, so I use the default controls. But yeah, you're gonna quick turn, and then you're gonna do a very specific movement coming out, going out of this. So like this, okay? So quick turn, okay? You're gonna be here, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna make Harry run for 1 step, and then you're gonna let go of run and walk, and don't let go of forward, okay? Hold forward the entire time. Okay, I had some weird input lag there, I don't know why. Yeah, this is kind of a mess up, but yeah, maybe this could work too. Try again. There you go. This is the position. Quick turn, and they're gonna this is a weird camera, but yeah, you're gonna run 1 step. So listen to Harry's footstep. Listen to one of his footsteps, and then you're gonna walk. After you hear his footstep, after you hear Harry's footstep on the ground, you let go of run, and you walk all the way. 2, quick turn, 1, and then walk all the way. And you notice that I'm walking kind of into this wall here, kind of like this. I'm going to show why this is important, okay, as well. But you can do... We'll get to that. This is the movement, right here. So pay attention to it. This is what you're gonna do every time, or almost every time. But the movement itself is still the same, okay? Now, one very important thing. See this doorway here? So it's very important that you do this movement just like I tell you, to get this more consistently. And it's also very important that you stay to the left of this doorway, okay? So stay to the left of it, kind of maybe facing the wall a little bit, but I'll explain that. You could get the trick like even if you are in the center or even if you are here on the right, but it's preferably that you are on the left. It's more consistent. If you are to the right, there is a big chance that the romper will get stuck on this sign here. So it's just gonna be jumping here and it's gonna get stuck here. Or something else that happens if you are too much to the right, that frequently happens, is that he will jump here and then he will go away. He will lose interest. And that's actually because you messed up the movement. It's not all the time, it's just out of luck. Okay, so sometimes if you do, and if you're to the right, he will either get stuck or lose interest. So it's less consistent. Make sure you are walking on the left of the doorway. This is very important. So, you see me doing out of muscle memory a little bit of delay here on my quick turn, right? There's a little bit of delay. Look at that. This is muscle memory talking, okay? There's a reason for that, and I'll get to it. But you don't want to immediately quick turn every time, okay? So yeah, stay on the left side as well. Okay, explain that. So 1, 2, quick turn, 1, and then walk. Okay. Now we're gonna do the trick, and you're gonna see why this movement's gonna work. Most of the times, okay. So it gets down to like a 50% or more consistency. So there we go. And when you hear, so this is another very, very important thing. When you hear the sound of the romper biting Harry, so yum 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 yum. Okay, I cannot do that sound, but sorry. When you hear that sound, you know that you've got the trick, even if you hear it for just a little bit of time. So that's another very important. That's one of the most important audio cues in the trick. The most important. Okay, that kind of messed up there. Okay, so I didn't get the audio cue. This is good. I didn't get the audio cue, so I didn't get the trick. If you don't get the audio cue, you don't get the trick. Okay. Instead, what I've got was the romper pushing me a little bit earlier than I wanted, and look at how Harry is floating here. Okay, so Harry's floating in the stairs. If that happens, you have to go through that door. This is very important. Let me go back and try to do the trick again. So the romper jumped, but he cannot get me. In fact, well, okay, if I'm facing the romper, he can, and then my collisions reset. But if that happens, I'm going to try and make it happen. No, I'll get the trick. Okay, this is the opposite. This is 2 blades. Nope. Yeah, okay, we got it. So, once again, I'm floating. I'm gonna try the trick and it's gonna fail. And look at that, my timing was correct, but the Romper is hitting Harry, and he cannot get to Harry. I am going through the wall and through the door just a little bit. See Harry? He's kind of into the door, but I cannot get through it, and I cannot get into the door either. Right? So that's a problem, and you have to go into this door, back down, go to the door, and go back if that happens. For me, it's basically a reset most of the times. But if you want to try again, now you see Harry is not floating anymore. He is where he should be, standing on the stair. So, yeah, and you can go and try the trick again. And there you go. And what you can do if you want to practice, this is also very important. You can just go through this wall and go down and fall, and because you fell, you essentially have your collision fixed. So you can practice like this. Go, and I like to go to this wall, and I just practice like this. This is how I practice. Okay, this is another one of that. See, Harry's floating, so I have to go and do this. It's unfortunate when that happens, a pretty big time loss. But yeah, that's just a way to practice. Go through the wall and jump backwards. Still got it. So go through the wall, backwards, and then you can fall and then try again. And there you go. So don't forget to do this movement that I said, and you should get it a few times, more consistently if you're doing the movement. But this video is not over yet. Yeah, I got 4 times in a row. So you get it if you do this properly, but this is not all there is to it. This is not all there is to it. I'm going to load the save file. So there's one more shade to this trick, and this is the part that nobody knows about, or very few people know about. Okay. Now, this is a disclaimer. This is probably going to be different for you if you're not using a CRT, okay? Possibly. I did not know. It's different if you're using emulator. If you're using like maybe a different system could be different. So I am playing in a PlayStation 2 on a CRT TV, okay? So this is OG. With very little input lag. The bigger your input lag is in comparison to this, it could be different, okay? But I don't think the window is that tight that it would make a huge difference. But that's something that you should know. What I'm doing is in the PlayStation 2, but I'm going to show you the advanced part of this trick. This is what it's going to make your consistent go up by a good margin. So once again, listen to the game. Listen to the game when doing this. It's very, very important. Also, I think the game was really loud. Hopefully it didn't cover my explanation, but whatever. You need to listen to the game. Listen to Harry's footsteps for the movement, and then you're going to listen to the Romper's footsteps for your timing your quick turn. So your quick turn, it's the only thing that's going to change, not the only thing, sorry, but it's one of the 2 things that's going to change in the trick every time. The timing of your quick turn. You need to time your quick turn with the second Romper jump. you need to listen to the game for this. So this is what I do. Without audio, I cannot do this trick, okay? Let's go. So watch me quick turn. See, I'm timing my quick turn. I'm going to increase the volume. I failed it, but whatever. I'm trying to time my quick turn as the romper's landing. I'm trying to time my quick turn input as the romper's landing, and you can have an idea on when the romper's going to land based on the first noise, the first jumping noise that the romper does. It's a timing thing. So this trick, it's all about timing. So watch and listen closely. Listen to it. I'm timing my quick turn input when the romper's going to land. I'm timing so Harry quick turns in the same time that the romper lands. This is a good example. So if you have any if you don't understand, go back to this very same trick that I just did. You can see the romper landing. Put this on like 0.25 speed. You can, or 0.5, I don't know. But you can see the romper landing, and you can see Harry starting to quick turn at the same time, or right around the same time. Keep watching closely. So not for that. Well, yeah, but no. Sorry, Phil. Sorry if I'm sorry if I'm making you a little bit confused. I'm doing my best to explain this, but a lot of this comes down to a feeling that you get after doing like a million times. And I want to share this without you having to go through this like so many times. In the end, though, I didn't get it. Okay. In the end, though, you're going to have to practice this, but you can get it. Like you need to get the feel for it, right? That's what I mean. So yeah, like that. You get the quick turn. You do the quick turn at the same time that the romper jumps. You do the quick turn at the same time that the romper jumps, and this should be... Okay, I messed up my movement. I still got it, okay. Nice. So yeah, let's try again. So, okay, I failed it somehow, but yeah, thought I was gonna get. So what I have just had there is a slow pattern. So let me explain now. Okay, every enemy in this game is positioned based on a frame counter. Okay, so the position of every enemy in the game is based on a frame counter. Okay. Oh, okay, maybe not every enemy. Like the ice cream in the cafe is not like that, but you get the idea, right? This is the reason why if you do the same move, even if you do the same movement, you can get grabbed by a kid in the school, or can get blocked by a nurse or a doctor in the hospital. Their position is not always the same. It's in a frame counter. This is why we say it's RNG. It is not really RNG, but it might as well be on an RTA run, okay? You just kind of realize that when you are tasking, but whatever. This is the same for this romper. His position is in a frame counter. So, depending on which frame you go through this transition right here, his position is going to be different. And that makes the trick, or the setup for the trick, different. But if you do the same movement every time, it's going to work every time. The only thing is that you have to time your quick turn differently. You have to time your quick turn accordingly to his second jump, or yeah, the second time you hear him like jumping in the grail, you know. So that's when you want to time your quick turn. This is why this is why this trick is so inconsistent. It's because it's different every time, but the difference, it's so minuscule that people don't understand, people don't get it. It's hard to get it, it's hard to grasp, but you end up getting a feel for it after doing so many times. And it's hard to explain, especially for me. It's hard to explain, but it's possible for you to understand the you know the thing behind it. Forgot the word right now, but yeah, the you can get the feeling for it after doing it a lot of times. But if you do as I say, you should get your consistent. You should get this much more consistently. Okay. Oh, very, very, very important thing. Very, very important things. Do the movement as I just explained. Listen to Harry's footsteps. That's very important for that movement. And then listen to the Romper's pattern. Um, and then move accordingly at the very end. I'm going to explain that as well. The Romper is going to have different patterns because of the way he's aggroed. So he has this lower pattern, he has a faster pattern, he has like a kind of a mid in between pattern, and those are not set in stone. Those there are not only three different patterns, but there are faster patterns and slower patterns. Okay, so I'm going to try and identify which pattern I get here. So this was more of a slower pattern. So he took his time to jump, to land for the second time. Also, a slower pattern. So those lower patterns, they're like slow, between slow and mid. They're more like mid. I don't know. It's hard to. Oh, sorry about that. It's hard to classify. This is more of a mid to a fast pattern. So you have to time your quick turn accordingly. Mid pattern. Oh. Lost interest. Mid pattern. Mid to slow-ish. There's a very, very slow pattern. I want to show you. This is the kind of a slow pattern. You see how long it took between the first and the second jump. Oh, I messed up the movement though. Mid pattern. Messed up. Kind of a mid pattern as well, I guess. But you get the idea, right? I can show the very slow or the very fast ones. But trust me, there is a difference. I really... Oh, yeah. There you go. Collision fixed. But the point is that it's not the same every time. It seems to be, but for the trained eye, it is not. There are very slow patterns. Like, when I say very slow, I mean like a difference of a few frames. So, like, it's kind of the same, but that impacts the way you're going to quick turn, There you go. We got a slow one. So you have to time your quick turn a little bit more, like, you have to delay your quick turn. And this is a fast one. Okay. I guess I exaggerated a little bit there. So yeah, the very important thing is to time your quick turn with the romper landing. When you're about to hear the romper land, that's when you time your quick turn, and this is gonna be a 1 hour video. I'm so sorry for this, but when it's going to happen. based on the first jump or based on the audio cues. So if you practice, you're gonna get a feel for it and you're going to understand what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to give you a starting line, okay? So, yeah. Once again, time your quick turn and go. The very last thing that you need to know about this trick, this is a very hard thing to explain as well. Um, but do you like take a look at what I'm doing now? Do you notice what? Not really right now, but when I'm gonna do the trick a few times, and you're gonna notice me turning Harry a little bit to the left. So instead of going through the transition like this, I go through the transition like this, or even turn him more. And I do that based on my position relative to the romper's position. So if you do walk forward in the straight line every time, you are less likely as well to get the trick more consistently, because your timing could be a little bit off, because the romper can move in a weird way, okay? So if you notice that the romper is taking a little bit too long, and when I say long, I mean frames, when the romper is taking a little bit too long to get to you, instead of stopping and, may I say, don't let go of forward, you run into the wall, and that's gonna, you walk into the wall, and that's gonna make Harry walk less forward. So instead of walking forward like this, you're gonna walk forward like this. You're still holding forward, but you're going in slower towards the transition. And that's like another thing that you need to get the feel for it, okay? So watch what I'm gonna do. You see, I turned him slightly to the right, to the left, and that was actually a mistake. I didn't get it because of that. Oh, very slow pattern. That's what I wanted to show. Yeah, that was a very, 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 very slow pattern. And you're gonna delay your quick turn a lot. Oh, look at that. So now I just, so this is from attempt to attempt. Like that time, I just walked forward because I got a fast pattern. But if you get a slower pattern, you might wanna like turn to the left. I start turning to the left when I'm feeling that like I'm getting closer to the transition and the romper's falling behind. Then I start turning to the left, but I never let go of forward. Kind of like that, you see? Kind of like that. I'm going to make the game audio a little bit less noisy because I feel it's too loud. I hope it didn't cover my explanation too much. Look at that slow pattern. Wow. Very slow pattern. So yeah, kind of turning to the left. And I mean to the left. If I said to the right, I'm sorry. Kind of confused the things a little bit. Sorry, Harry. So yeah, you see how I got that? That one's another one that's worth rewatching. You see how much I turned to the left? It was a lot. I almost turned Harry entirely to the left, and I got the trick still. And I did that because I was feeling like the romper was falling way too far behind. Or rather, I was way too further ahead. And if I went straight forward, I would have failed that. So, you need to do that as well. So, TLDR, okay? Because this video is almost an hour long, and I know nobody's gonna watch this thing fully. I will not watch this thing fully, but that's what timestamps are for. Shoot. I thought my mic was muted. That would be funny. me here explaining for 1 hour, having the mic muted. Okay, so TLDR. Oh, nice! I failed the trick. Epic. Okay, let me try again. So, TLDR, if you are alright, if you already know about this trick, you have to do a specific movement that I have explained and break down. You wanna move and time your quick turn through the use of audio cues. You never let go forward. And then you can get your consistency very high if you manage to move like this. Listen to Harry and listen to the Romper, and then at the end of the trick, when you're about to reach the transition, it is a good idea to, if the Romper is falling behind you, you turn a little bit to the left to make Harry go forward a little bit slower. So make Harry walk into the wall, walk to the wall. I don't know. Few more attempts. So still got it, even though the Romper was given up and the pattern was extremely weird. I just did not let go forward and, you know, turn to the left and still got it. So the longer the Romper takes to get to me, the more I turn left. Okay, that time it simply did not work. That was extremely close. I was probably off by like 1 frame. Slow pattern. Still got it. So you can still do it even with slower patterns or faster patterns. Into the wall, and still get it. So you can see that if you follow those steps, you will get it most of the times. Not every time, but most of the time, okay? And a lot of the times I am messing up. It's not bad luck. I'm not like flawless with this trick. Okay. So okay, before the video gets an hour long, oh sorry, that was it. That was my explanation. It was not brief, and I'm sorry. Thank you for watching, even if you have not watched the entire thing. And if you have any questions or anything you would like to know about this, or if you didn't understand something, if it wasn't clear in the video, let me know. Look for me on twitch.tv/Enderion. You will know where to find me, but yeah. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope this is helpful, and I hope you can get this more consistently. This helps you with your, if you're having any problems, and even if you're not, get it more consistently. And yeah, what's going on, Harry? Okay, all right. Thanks for watching, and ciao.